Let's get this out of the way from the get-go. To construct this list of the highest-paid Dallas Cowboys of 2025, we'll be using each player's salary cap hit as the measuring stick, as things are just easier that way. Otherwise, we get into total cash spending versus salary cap numbers, and those are two completely different figures, and that's why CeeDee Lamb, who's technically the third highest paid wide receiver in the entire league with an average annual salary of $34 million, will only rank fourth on this particular list. But we'll get back to number 88 a little later. By doing things this way, we don't have to get into every detail of weighing guarantees against potential earnings, incentives, and the many other factors that go into the complicated mess that is an NFL contract. So, without further ado, let's get into our top 5. Well, at least our top 5 as it currently stands. We all know things could change if Micah Parsons gets his long-awaited extension, but we'll be sure to update things when that deal goes down. Dak Prescott, QB, $50,518,430. Unlike what we just discussed with CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott is the highest-paid quarterback in the NFL in terms of AAV at $60 million and also leads all signal callers and obviously all Cowboys with a 2025 cap hit of $50,518,430. Prescott, who missed 9 games in 2024 after suffering a devastating hamstring injury, is in the first season of the historic 4-year, $240 million deal he signed last September, but already restructured it to help Dallas create more than $36 million in cap space back in March. Dak's 2025 cap figure now consists of $2 million in base salary, $26,758,136 as part of his signing bonus, and $21,760,294 in restructure proration. Micah Parsons, D. $24,007,000. Currently set to play the upcoming campaign on the 5th-year option of his rookie deal, Micah Parsons will still be collecting a decent chunk of change this year. Parsons, who earned his 4th consecutive Pro Bowl selection last season despite missing 4 games, carries a 2025 cap hit of $24.007 million, which consists of only his base salary. Again, we'll be sure to update this list if and when the 26-year-old inks his new contract, which could be historic in its own right. Terrence Steele, RT, $18,125,000. Signed by the Cowboys as an undrafted free agent out of Texas Tech in 2020, right tackle Terrence Steele is in the second season of the 5-year, $86.8 million extension he signed just ahead of the 2023 campaign. Steele, who earned the second highest overall PFF grade of his career in 2024, carries a 2025 cap hit of $18.125 million, which consists of $13.25 million in base salary, $3 million as part of his signing bonus, $1.125 million in restructure proration, and $750,000 in roster/game bonuses. CeeDee Lamb, WR, $15,332,353. At long last, we arrive back to CeeDee Lamb, who earned his 4th consecutive Pro Bowl selection and made his 3rd straight All-Pro team in 2024. As mentioned, the 26-year-old earns an average of $35 million per season after inking a 4-year, $136 million extension last August. Like Prescott, Lamb has already restructured his deal this past March as well, helping the Cowboys create roughly $20 million in cap space. As such, Lamb carries a 2025 cap hit of just $15,332,353, which consists of $1.85 million in base salary, $7.6 million as part of his signing bonus, $5 million in restructure proration, and $882,353 in roster/game bonuses. Trayvon Diggs, CB, $12,588,237. Rounding out the top 5 is cornerback Trayvon Diggs, who is playing the 2025 campaign on the 2nd season of the 5-year, $97 million extension he signed in July 2023. Diggs, who's appeared in just 13 regular season games over the past 2 seasons, carries a 2025 cap hit of $12,588,237, which consists of $9 million in base salary, $2,941,178 as part of his signing bonus, and $647,059 in roster/game bonuses. The Dallas Cowboys took a flyer on Ole Miss pass rusher Sam Williams with a hope that his pass rush skills would translate over to the NFL, but injuries and middling performance have left him in a very precarious spot ahead of what could be a pivotal 2024 campaign for him. Williams played as many snaps in 2024 as anyone reading this article, as an ACL tear after an uninspiring first 2 seasons in the pros, 39 tackles, 8 sacks, has put him in a very precarious position. Luckily for Williams, he still has his fair share of supporters in the media. John Machota of The Athletic listed Williams as Dallas' top breakout candidate for the 2025 season, beating out offensive tackle Tyler Guyton and linebacker Maris Lofau. Machota is banking on Williams' physical traits being able to help him get snaps in a crowded non-Micah Parsons edge room. The 2022 second-round pick just hasn't been able to put it all together. His breakout season was supposed to be last year, but a season-ending knee injury in training camp put everything on hold. He took part in some individual drills during minicamp. If he's healthy, he could be Dallas' second most productive pass rusher behind Micah Parsons, Machota wrote. Cowboys edge Sam Williams named team's top breakout candidate. Williams will need to compete with free agent signing Dante Fowler Jr., a pair of fellow second-round picks in Marshawn Kneeland and Donovan Ezeraku, and former Saints first-rounder Peyton Turner. Those look like grim odds, but Williams believers think that he has enough talent to get the job done. Fowler is fresh off tallying 10.5 sacks for Washington last season, but those numbers are an outlier when compared to the rest of his pro career. Williams has superior speed when compared to Fowler, and that trait could be enough to eat into Fowler's snaps if he starts to falter. Kneeland is a promising two-way end, but he lacks the pass rush upside Williams brings to the table when healthy. Ezeraku is clearly the guy Dallas wants to stick long-term next to Parsons, but his limitations as a run defender could lead to him being a designated pass rush specialist early in his career. Williams is coming onto a team that doesn't have a ton of loyalty to someone the past regime drafted, putting him in a very awkward position. However, considering how fluid the depth chart is behind Parsons, Dallas will likely give him a fairly meaty runway to playing time. Williams is in a very desperate place, as he could conceivably establish himself as Parsons' top deputy or get washed out of the pass rush rotation altogether. Starting strong will be key in convincing Brian Schottenheimer that he is worth putting up with. On Thursday morning, a podcast appearance by Micah Parsons, with the Undertaker of all people, made the rounds, and in it Parsons said that he was ready for his contract extension situation with the Dallas Cowboys to be over. Aren't we all? Paraphrasing a bit, Parsons noted that he wanted to get the deal done last year, and that he didn't understand why the Cowboys were waiting because other deals could happen that would impact the math at play. Jerry Jones infamously referred to this idea before last year's NFL draft as leaves falling. Timber. A whole tree has come down. ESPN sources. Steelers star TJ Watt has become the highest-paid non-QB in NFL history for the second time in his illustrious career, reaching agreement today on a 3-year, $123 million extension that includes $108 million fully guaranteed at signing. The $41 million per year average. The Pittsburgh Steelers just gave TJ Watt a deal that will serve as a bar for the Cowboys to clear. The important details are that Watt, who the Cowboys very infamously drafted Taco Charlton over, by the way, is making $41 million per year and received $108 million fully guaranteed. If the Cowboys had shown some proactivity this or last offseason, then they could have in all likelihood come in at numbers below these. At this point, Parsons and his representation will obviously use this deal to their advantage.